Today we are discuss about unit cell, primitive cell, and number of atoms in each cells. A unit cell is the smallest portion of a crystal lattice that shows the three-dimensional pattern of the entire crystal. Same unit cell, repeated over and over, in 3 dimensions, make a crystal. Unit cells occur in many different varieties. The cubic crystal system is composed of 3 different types of unit cells. 1. Simple cubic. 2. Face-centered cubic. 3. Body-centered cubic. Simple cubic. In simple cubic, the atoms or ions are at the corners of the unit cell only. Body-centered cubic. In body-centered cubic, one atom, or ion, in the center of the unit cell, in addition to the corner atoms, or ions. Face-centered cubic. There are also atoms, or ions, in the center of each of the 6 faces of the unit cell, as shown here. The representation of individual faces shown here as here red-colored ball represent the corner atom, and purple-colored ball represent the face-centered atom. Primitive cell. A primitive cell is a unit cell that contains exactly one lattice point. A primitive cell is the smallest possible cell. If there is a lattice point at the edge of a cell, and shared with another cell, it is only counted as half. Accordingly, a point located on the corner of a cube is shared by 8 cubes, and would count as 1 by 8 into 8 equals 1 atom. Number of atoms per unit cell in a cubic crystal. Simple cubic cell. The number of atom per unit cell in a simple cubic unit cell is 1 by 8 into 8 equals 1. That is, the atoms in each corner shared by 8 atoms from other cubes. So the effective number of atom is 1 for simple cubic. Due to this reason, SC is a primitive cell. Body-centered cubic cell. A body-centered cubic cell has 8 atoms at its 8 corners, each of which is shared by 8 adjoining cells, and a central atom that belong to exclusively to each cell. Thus the total number of atoms per unit cell is 2. That is, body-centered cubic cell is a non-primitive unit cell. Face-centered cubic cell. A face-centered cubic cell has 8 atoms at its 8 corners, each of which is shared equally by 8 adjoining cells, and 1 atom each at the center of its 6 faces, each being shared equally by 2 adjacent cells. Thus, the total number of atom per unit cell is 1 by 8 into 8 plus 1 by 2 into 6 equal to 4. That is, FCC cell is a non-primitive unit cell.